Hey, it's Cactus Wrestling. We got another ranking video and preview. 157 pounds this time. Uh, Definitely an interesting weight class. And before we get started, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future Cactus videos. And it really helps the channel out a bunch. So do that for us. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
So let me share my screen. And without further ado, bam.
Oh,
157-pound rankings. Levi Haynes, the consensus number one for Penn State. He was last year's runner-up. Austin O'Connor from North Carolina was the reigning champion. He graduated, so it leaves it open for Levi Haynes. But as you'll see, as a number two, I put this guy as number two. Maybe a bold take. He's not even really confirmed to be the starter at this weight class, even though the website shows that he is 157 pounds. But I think
Right.
the upside for Meyer Shapiro is extremely high, and I think he could very well win this weight class. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I mean that I don't think it's that outlandish. Didn't he just win a U17 or U20 world title?
U20.
Yeah, so he just won a world title. I think if you're able to do that, you're definitely in the mix for an NCAA title. Um, and I mean he's at Cornell, which just came off of a phenomenal season, so he he's in good shape, especially because I'm pretty sure Yanni's sticking around to help train with him. He's got Donnie Vincent there as well, who's roughly around that weight, or well, he was when he competed at least. So like he's got a lot of good training
Alan
partners.
Russell too.
Yeah, and Kellen Russell. Yeah, yeah. So the coaches are there. Like, I mean, he's definitely got a lot of good things going for him in place to have a lot of success. And even just as a freshman, like I think he could hit the ground running and fill that hole left by Yanni pretty well.
For sure. With Shapiro, if you guys watched out there, watched his U20 performance, he was so dominant. The only guy that I think was a more dominant wrestler was fellow American Mitch Messenberg. But you know, Shapiro was just tooling guys left and right. Constant scoring, constant pressure. I agree. I think he's going to fill the Yanni role as a potential another four timer. And I know he hasn't wrestled a real match yet in college, doing opens and unattached and whatnot is great. But in his first official season, I wouldn't be surprised to see him win a national championship.
Wow, you're saying this over a Penn State guy?
Yeah, I mean, I think Levi Haynes is incredible, and he's only getting better. I think Levi Haynes is very Jason Nolf esque. Um, but we never got to see Jason Nolf have these crazy matches against a guy like Yanni. A lot of those like superstars kind of avoided each other. This could
Well,
be
he
another,
did have what's his face? Imar.
yeah. And then Imar got beat twice by Chenzo in the next 2 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm actually pretty excited for this. I think we're gonna see kind of a Kyle Dake and David Taylor set up here for the next few years with Levi Haynes and Maya Shapiro.
That would be
Oh.
crazy. And I mean, one thing that Meyer Shapiro has going from is he hasn't lost to Vinny Zerban like Levi Haynes did.
Yeah,
You got
that's
Zerbin.
definitely a bonus.
To be fair though, Vinny Zerbin is an honorable mention on this list, so
Hey, he was a round of
pretty
12
good,
guy for Northern
pretty good.
Colorado as a
Yeah.
freshman, so that's pretty
Zerbin them.
impressive.
Well, now I just kind of want to bring up the other freshman on the list, Cody Chittum. I mean, he's all the way down at 10.
God,
Do
I
you
hope
think
he's
he's
good.
going to be in the conversation with Shapiro and Haynes?
Chittum's an incredible freestyle wrestler as well. He comes from a really great family of wrestlers. His younger cousin, I think, also just won Fargo this year. Um, I'm super happy to see him not at Iowa. I think it's very funny. The way that whole thing shook out, where he's like, the Ferrari brothers are coming here. Nah, I'm out, fam."
Nah, thanks.
And
Bye.
he literally, like in interviews, didn't pull any punches. He's like, "Well, I'm not going to tell you completely what happened." He goes, "I'm just saying I won't ever be on a team with them again." And it's like, dang, whatever happened with you guys at like Blair or wherever wherever they were all together. Um, I could see Chittum as an All American for sure. I feel
Oh,
like
but not a title contender.
I don't know. It's tough because I really think Haynes is a great wrestler. I think Shapiro is a great wrestler. I could see him as high as third, but I don't think he's going to beat Shapiro or Haynes. I think that Haynes is making the jump that Penn State guys do, and Shapiro is already at that level. And I feel like these two are going to have a really good battle when they meet.
Hmm.
Well,
But,
this weight's pretty stacked. I mean, we
Yeah.
have Pete and Rob on the list.
yeah.
It's not confirmed if he's going to be ready or not. The plan is that he's going to be ready to wrestle, but for those who may have forgotten, he had a pretty like life-threatening like staph infection, I think it was.
Incredibly, like they like cut off like half his muscle in his calf or something. It was insane.
Yeah, no, yeah, I saw the pictures. It was yikes.
I'm surprised he's wrestling at all.
Yeah, like
Let
oh,
alone like,
I'm
hey,
good.
like, yeah, let alone be like, oh, 6 months later, I'll be fine. Like,
Oh yeah, I gotta make another run for that national title.
yeah, I mean, he's just an absolute animal if he's able to return the season. If he's able to return in general, I
I
really
mean,
thought that was a career-ending injury.
and he had some pretty close matches with Levi Haynes. I mean, I'd argue at Big Tens the match got robbed from Rob.
What?
Wow. Well, another guy that wrestled Levi Haynes at NCAAs was Bryce Andonian, and Andonian was off to a fast lead.
That's because that's
But
what Andonian does.
He just goes and goes and goes, a maniac. Love
but
it.
Levi kind of broke him down. But you sent us a picture of Bryce Andonian. He's
Man,
looking
he looked
pretty
big.
huge.
Whoa.
I looked at it, and when I sent it to you guys, I was like, "There's no way he's making 57." I was like, he might not make 65. He looked big in that picture.
Well, I guess it's all perspective of
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably be 57. I don't think he's going 65. Um,
no.
I don't know the Virginia Tech lineup amazingly, but I'd see him at still 57.
He
Although
wants to go
65,
74 instead of Mackay.
someone's got to do it. At 65, he actually might do better if he goes there. I just feel like he kind of gasses out, and if he has a little bit of extra energy with that like crazy, like I'm gonna go as hard as I can and just go wild for 90 seconds.
He went 149 the year before.
Grow him, keep getting bigger.
Just keep going up a weight class every year.
Nice to see Ed Scott in here too. I feel like he's a great wrestler, and then for NC State, I feel like they have a really, and I feel like I've talked to you guys about this. They're like an incredible mid team. Like they're not at that top tier, but man, are they like at the top of that like second or third tier, second tier down.
Well,
Yeah.
they have incredible depth. I
Yeah,
feel like
for sure.
they're
Yeah.
2 to 3 deep per weight class. Doesn't matter. Guy transfers out. They have someone who's just plug and play, ready to go. And he's
Yeah.
been that guy for them in this weight class for 2 years, 3 years now. Really dangerous wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Um,
you don't think Jared Franik's going to knock off Haynes?
No. I think he's gonna get worse at Iowa.
Worse than fourth and just 3 losses.
I think he's gonna take fifth.
He was at North Dakota State before.
Yeah, they build champions over there.
Well, I mean, Jared Franek lost to Ja'Cory Teamer a couple of times 2 seasons ago, and Ja'Cory Teamer is back for Arizona State. So
Corey
that was
Teamer,
kind of a
I
wrench in
think,
things
could
as well.
definitely be higher on this list.
Who,
Like, I think
Ja'Cory should be higher, you think?
No, I think Ja'Cory definitely could be, but since he didn't compete last season, leaving him where he is right now is probably appropriate.
And he lost to Will Luan in the last season he wrestled as well.
Sure, that was in an overtime match too, and I think he also had an overtime match with Peyton Robb. There was like that picture of them or that clip of them where
they're both laying on the ground,
like just dead.
Well, Will Luan has an overtime match with everyone.
It's kind of his thing.
Yeah, Ja'Cory Teamer being back in this weight class is definitely adding a layer of depth to the weight. Like this is probably one of the deeper weights out there. I mean, just with the amount of returning All-Americans, and I mean, a lot of these guys are at like the same level. They're like they could trade matches very easily. I mean, and that's not even without mentioning Michael Blockus coming back for another go round, and he All-American last year.
I agree. I think this is one of the deepest weights that we've seen that we're going to see this season. I haven't seen, you always kind of like predict a weight, and then as the season progresses, you're like, wow, it's actually better or worse than I thought. I think
Right.
157 is probably gonna be the toughest weight class this year, just for the reasons you're saying. I mean, you have all these returning All Americans. You have some incredible studs like Meyer Shapiro and Cody Chittum that are like, hey, like they've never wrestled, a real full season, but these guys are coming in hot, hot, hot.
And Vinny Zerban right there for Upset
Yeah,
Nation. So
yeah. I mean, you can get Zerbined.
yeah, you get Zerban, exactly.
Well, not to mention, so Chase Aldate, Daniel Cardenas, and Kale Swenson are round of 12 guys.
Yeah,
And these guys are like ranked 11, 12. I feel like in the other classes, weight classes, the round of 12 guys were like as high as number
Yeah,
7
like
or 8.
six,
And
7. Yeah, exactly. 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
yeah. I think it's
yeah,
gonna be a
so
super competitive weight.
it's going to be interesting. We did a poll on the Cactus YouTube channel. Who do you think is going to win
Oh wait, before
157?
you get to that poll, I just want to mention uh Josh Humphreys, who, I mean, there is a lot of question marks about that. He is sitting in the transfer portal. I know there's questions if he has the eligibility or not, but if he were able to be in on this season, if he is eligible, I could see him being like ranked as high as like third on this list.
Well, he took what, third last year?
Took third last year, yeah.
He had a major over Franek, 8-0 in
Yeah,
the
he
third last.
majored Franek. His only loss was to Austin O'Connor. Like, he could be right there in the mix for a title if he gets granted that eligibility, which makes this weight class even deeper. But he might not get cleared for that. So it might just be
Yeah,
a pipe dream. But
that's a
um
tough one.
but
So
he is sitting there.
so to get back to the poll, 114 votes, 69% of people voted Levi Haynes, 14% said Meyer Shapiro, 8% Bryce Andonian, and Jared Franek and Cody Chinham each got 4%. And comments wise, someone said Andonian is the only right answer if it's not Levi. And then another guy said Meyer Shapiro is one bad dude on his feet and he cannot be ridden and is a beast on top.
He is a beast on top. His top game is crazy, and he's better on top in folk style than he is in freestyle, which is insane.
So I think people are riding the Levi Haynes train, but remember, this guy wasn't even the starter until like they pulled his red shirt like midway through the season. And then he was like unleashed. So I could very well see Shapiro doing the same.
They'll see Facundo go back down to 57, and Haynes is going to redshirt.
I mean, well, the funny thing too is Messenbrink also talks about how he's like, yeah, I can go 57 or 65.
Oh.
So the
So
question
it
would
would be,
be, yeah, who would win between Levi Haynes and Mitch Messenberg?
and then
Your
it
teammates,
becomes
you don't have
the
to worry about
question as
that
well is
problem.
who wins between potentially Meyer Shapiro and Mitch Messenbrink, because that's like I said, the two most dominant guys at U20s could
Yeah, they're
potentially
both
meet
world champs. Yeah,
NCAAs.
that's that
It
big
it's still
question.
crazy to me that these Penn State guys who could very well be title contenders but are stuck behind their teammate don't transfer out. It's like they just want to be at Penn State. Oh, I'm not the starter this year. All right, that's okay though. All part of the
I
plan.
mean, we kind of saw it happen with Michael Beard though, is that he did get better, but not, he didn't make the jumps.
Yeah,
He went elsewhere. He's like, I could beat Max Dean, and then he
He
did in
did.
the duel. But then I think, if I remember correctly, didn't Max Dean place above him?
he did because Beard lost in the round of 12, and
Yeah.
Dean placed. But had Beard met Dean at NCAAs, I am very confident that Dean would have lost to Beard in a head-to-head. But
Well,
yeah.
we'll see. 157 is an exciting weight class. Drop a comment down below. Who do you think is going to win this thing, and who are going to be some surprising uh, upsets at the tournament this year? Could we see a Cody Chittum? Could we see a Vinny Zerban make
Trevor
the
Trimble.
podium? Who knows?
Vinny Zerban. I mean, Northern Colorado's on the rise, so
So Drop a comment down below, and thanks for watching.